see me cry again. Yes, I know, yes, I know, yes, I know, yes, I know you wonder why I'm acting so at ease. 'Cause I know I need higher standards, deserve higher standards, will reach higher standards without you. 'Cause I know I need higher standards, deserve higher standards, will reach higher standards without you. You don't have to try to win me back, it's already too late. Now I find a peace of mind and I will gladly break us up. Don't try to change my mind again. And I know, and I know, and I know, and I know you thought you'd see me cry again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of Apple Mountain Valley. We finally started the progress on our downtown area. In this view right here, just look at it. Just look at it. Man, oh man, oh man. Okay, so first off, just to give you guys a little background on how, YouTubers, well, not all YouTubers, but me at least, how we record these episodes. And so this episode alone took me 5 hours. 5 hours, and I'm not even close to being done with everything. The time lapse that you just saw took 5 hours, chopped all down into, this 25, 26 minute episode. But man, it's just crazy the amount of time that goes into this game. And I'm not even done. I'm not even close to being done, just with the detail work and this underground highway, or not underground, but sunken highway. I mean, I'm satisfied so far with how this has become. This is becoming like just a huge project for the city. But I know a lot of you guys have been looking forward to it. I know I've been looking forward to it, just paving way on this downtown area, and it's here. And so let's kind of go over what we did in the time lapse. Again, this is kind of I say this every episode, but this one truly will be in a shorter episode, just because it's kind of like a progress update. And so the next 2 episodes, really, make sure you watch those. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. Turn the little notifications button on if you would like, just to get updates. But this is going to be just a multiple episode progress report. We'll do different detailing things. I might do a detailing along video where we add in all the bus districts and all the light rail lines and the tram lines and the train lines, and build the big transportation hub and everything. And so, yeah, let's get into it. So the first thing that I want to show is this awesome asset. This is an NFL stadium asset. I mean, this thing is crazy. Like, just look at the scale of the stadium. It's a little bit dated, but it still looks cool nonetheless. I'm not sure who makes it. Shout out to whoever makes this. I mean, just the time and the amount of detail that went into it. And so we're going to crazy detail this. We'll have like a big, huge, maybe put the light rail up top here. I keep calling it light rails because where I live, they're light rails instead of trams. And so I'm going to actually use longer cars too. And so we'll put the light rail station probably here, and then just make a whole district out of that, shopping and hotels, and, surround this area with, just everything a stadium, an American football stadium would have, just these little villages. And, it's not going to be just like the Skylines Mall, because the Skylines Mall is, so close, but, we're going to have some mall things and mall stores and hotels and restaurant, retail. We're going to put a bunch of restaurants and clubs and all kind of stuff surrounding just this area. And so just a bunch of parking and all that kind of stuff. I found it funny, just a quick note, that this is the first episode where we didn't build a parking lot. Isn't that crazy? I thought that was pretty cool. But anyway, so the stadium, that was really cool. And then obviously the masterpiece, this is the bulk of the episode, was building this sunken highway. And so this sunken highway is massive. It goes from right underneath the river, and so we have just these two underpasses that go right underneath this river, and then we align this with some concrete wall barriers so the water can stay contained. And I'll kind of go back and smoothen this out a little bit and smoothen all the walls on the highway. But you kind of, it's like a grand entrance almost to the, you know, the highway area, or excuse me, the downtown area. Every time you're going to a city, you always have that highway that's like the grand entrance. And so that's what this is supposed to be. And so this like it just circles the downtown. It goes from here all the way around to this interchange here. And so a couple cool things about this. Again, it's far from done. We're going to detail the crap out of it and put retaining walls and all that kind of stuff. And so a couple cool things though is this light rail line. And so this light rail coincides with the highway. It runs right parallel to it. And so access to the light rail will be just like this. And so I kind of emulated one on the side just so I can show you guys. Let me go over to it right here. And so just like this, you're going to have you'd have a light rail stop here, and we are obviously detail the mess out of this. And so put an overhang here and make it look like an actual platform with ticket machines and waiting areas and standing room. But you know, the light rail would come here, you would get off there, get up and over, and then you can either go to the left side of the bridge, or excuse me, the highway, or the right side of the highway. And so obviously in the future there's going to be development here and here, and so that access to both of those sides will be really, really good. Also, you can really see, you know, like I said earlier in the intro, we're going to add a big, huge light rail here, like a big station here. And so it'll be really good access to this stadium here. And then, you know, probably one here, you know, one here to access these buildings here. And then, you know, one all throughout. And so really having like a central access point for that tram light rail. Also back here will be our main transportation hub. And you can already see the train line that goes in the back of here. And so that's going to be more of the regional line, so people can come in via the regional line. This will be the main transportation hub. And so again, I won't probably do a transportation episode like these. It will probably be its own type of episode and very, very specific. And so I can mark it so you guys don't want, if you know, the people that just like the design piece and the time lapses and the music and enjoy, you know, that's just a quick overview, you guys can like this stuff. But for the people that want to get more in depth, you know, that's when we'll do the big transportation episode with the buses and all that kind of fun stuff. And so yeah, this is going to be the main transportation hub, and this is going to be, you know, hotels and retail, all the tall buildings. This will be mostly commercial, and then on this side this will be all the residential. And so residential is on the outsides in the middle, and then the commercial towards the, you know, commercial and office buildings towards the middle, residential towards the end, commercial and office towards the middle, and then, you know, hotels and commercial as well as some residential. So this highway is literally going to be the main, you know, transportation line, or, you know, main road, if you will, through this city. And so, you know, I think it's going to be very heavily congested. You never know at this game. Sometimes, man, like people take the weirdest routes ever. And so I try to wait to get an on ramp, you know, like we could do one here, and we'll see how traffic flows. But in all reality, the first on ramp and off ramp is here to enter the city. And so that's by design. And so, you know, and then we have one here and one here and then one there and there. And so pretty easy access coming from this way. It actually might be faster for some people to take the highway all the way down, then transfer around. It's just a cool loop. It's going to be able to handle heavy traffic. And so, you know, these are 6-lane high, 6-lane highways. And so it's going to be able to handle heavy traffic. And then my ideal, it's different. I haven't really seen anybody do this, and I'm curious to see if it works. Actually, I know it works because I did this in a previous city, maybe a year or two ago. Obviously, that's not on YouTube, but I created a express lane. And so this express lane is a way for you to travel through the downtown highway corridor, and then, you know, strategically get off at places. And so like here, you can get on. I don't think I have any of the off points. And so I have to add some off points, but you can bypass traffic all the way around, and then go straight over to the other highway, both directions. And so really what's going to be key is finding the flow of traffic and then having that off ramp, you know, like for instance, having this highway connect to this off ramp. specifically to the off ramps and on ramps, right? This on ramp, or excuse me, this off ramp here, on ramp, off ramp, this off ramp would connect to here, this highway in the middle would connect to that on ramp. And that sounds super confusing. Hope you guys got it. But, really identifying what the most popular routes are, and then having those strategically placed as off and on ramps. And so this lane will really help. I think it will. Actually, I know it will, but I'm curious to see, I think it will. I really do. And I think it would be a cool thing in City Skylines, and you guys can try that out too in your own cities to see if people actually utilize it. And so like this right here goes an off ramp. And so if they want to go to, that street, they can go boom, right off and then right back on. And so there's going to be some really, really cool simulation things. As you guys know, I'm all big on the simulation piece of this game. It's really, really fun to actually play the simulation. So, just one thing to point out here is these concrete blocks. And so you notice that we have pretty square blocks. The grid that I went with was diagonal. I did mention that in the previous episodes. And so from here, it will just go straight back to the normal grid. But I wanted to do a diagonal grid because of the way it makes the buildings look. And so as this all builds out, think about this. Imagine this. All these will be big, tall buildings. And so, as this builds out, you'll be able to see the traffic flow. And so I really wanted to make a grid-like structure, but more diagonal. The reason why is because it makes the buildings look really, really cool from a distance. And so basic Skylines, most cities have squared blocks with their grids. And so to make it diagonal when you're driving or when you're going by and you look at that perspective, all the buildings have a little bit of taste to them, a little bit of flavor because they're the other way. And so imagine all of this being filled in with really tall buildings and really dense buildings. Obviously these will be the tallest, but this area is really going to fill in. And so kind of how we engineered the roads was having these one-way streets alternating directions. So obviously this one goes this way, this one goes that way, this one goes this way, that way, and this way, that way. And in the middle of all these grids, we have a 3-lane road, both directions. So if you need to turn around, you can do that there. And then we kind of break the grid down up here to have a little bit more tighter space. And so, and then leave some open space. And so everybody was kind of wondering like, okay, where does the college go? So the college will actually be on this side. And so I'm going to take the majority of this portion right next to the transportation hub, but the college is going to be really, really nice and like a beach area college type. And so that's going to happen very, very shortly. I know a lot of people in the comment sections have been calling for like making university campus. So it's going to be a fairly close to downtown university campus in that area. So real quick to show you this middle area here, this is going to be a mall street. What that means is right in the middle here, there's going to be buildings facing each other and then like a nice park right in the middle. And this will all be a retail block with a really cool pedestrian path. I might actually upgrade these roads to bus lanes only. Just have a single bus from here to here that connects to the light rail on this side, and then that connects to the stadium on that side, but really make it a central hub for that commercial area. Like we're gonna have some cool mall stores and cool clip buildings, mall buildings into those clip buildings, and kind of like the downtown area here. If you haven't watched that episode, go check it out. But we did some bottom retail with upstairs residential, and so really utilizing those buildings here is going to be key. And then kind of having this cool funky little building as a showcase and centerpiece. If you guys even look at this perspective to see actually how tall these buildings actually are, it's pretty insane just how tall these things are. Like that's like even looking up, skyscrapers are just massive. And so it's going to be really, really fun. I'm just excited. Again, this took so long, but we're making such good progress. And, I have a lot of work still to do on fixing, the look of this sunken highway. I got a lot of detailing work. You guys can already see like the lights back here. I kind of already started, my idea would be to put some barriers here and then some cones, and even having all these roads with barriers around it, and even detailing the light rail stations and stops and having all the props there, and looking at some different light, maybe putting some lights here. If you can see at nighttime, You know, this place just doesn't give off that much light. It gives off a decent enough light, but when you're driving, it's still fairly dark. And so adding some lights here and doing just different types of things to elevate this spot. So just like the previous episodes, we are going to spend a little bit of time and just interact with you guys. I've been asking big time to tell me what to name stuff. And so again, I'm going to ask again. I really love doing this, and I'm getting some really cool stuff. Some of the stuff I can't really say or pronounce. And so if it's like a weird pronouncing, go ahead and help me out in the comment section. But leave your feedback in comments. We're going to have to name everything. I do want to real quick do a downtown district, and so something to name the downtown district here, the upper downtown district, and also the lower downtown district. If you guys have any suggestions, drop those in the comments. But really quick, we're gonna name this hospital district. And so in the comments section, we have someone that I can't say your name, I apologize, but you want to name the medical district Anatolia. I know anatomy kind of play on the word anatomy, but it's also the original name for the country of Turkey. I do not know how to pronounce that, but we'll name it. How about that? We'll just name it. And so I already have like a little building zone. I was messing around with a building zone, but let's go and name this. I'll also come back and make these districts more refined, but I won't. I'll spare you guys in the episode here, because it's very tedious to get it like perfect and aligned with the roads. And so let's add this lake as well in this here, and then Mill Square. That's still a cool name. I like that. Okay, so we have ANATOLIA. Cool. Boom. Perfect. Officially named. So that does it for this episode. Just really quick, I just want to take a look at this city, and it's going to be crazy just to see over the next few episodes this downtown area just blow up. And so it's kind of cool just, you know, taking the ride and seeing everything before it all blows up. Because I mean, the reality of it is all this is going to be very high density buildings, and you know, the college over here, and so we're going to come back in a few episodes and look at the sunken highway, and it's just full of traffic. Obviously there's like nobody out here yet, and so coming back to this area, you know, looking at it's going to be just crazy insane. But thank you guys for taking a ride with me. You know, thank you guys so much for checking out my channel and checking out this series. Again, I'm working on some really cool stuff. Premiering some Planet Coaster coming soon, some Sims coming soon, and so I got to get a little bit more power in the PC to be able to play those games, but that stuff's coming soon. If you're binge watching this, shout out to you guys. I know there's a lot of people that watch all episodes straight, which is crazy. I think that's cool, because I usually do that when I find a really good YouTube gamer, and so I really hope this content is engaging for you, and it's fresh and it's new and it's fun to watch. And so again, if you guys have any suggestions, drop those suggestions in the comment section. Tell me what you like, tell me what you hate. A lot of you like to tell me what you hate, so that's cool too. But this is your boy Design Candy signing off, and I'm gonna leave you with some candy. Enjoy.